For my apprentice project, I did learning to make maps because I usually like to do maps around the house, and I also wanted to learn about how professionals use them and more about the history of maps. Maps are usually used for helping people get around and helping people not get lost. My journeyman was my Uncle Dave, and he is a worker for Rick Steves, Europe, and he is the map maker for all of their books. And Rick Steves Europe is a company that makes guidebooks for Europe, and my uncle does the maps, and he is one of a few map makers at Rick Steves Europe. When I went and visited him at his work, and I asked him a few questions, including how long does it take you to do one map? And it depends on how big the map is, but the average is usually 2 to 3 hours. And the biggest map he's ever made is a 12 by 18 inch map that fits in the back of their books because they can't fit big maps in their books because they're very small. I learned a lot about the topic. It was amazing how many things and key tactics. I learned definitely how to make a map and better drawing than I would have expected. And one amazing fact that I thought was pretty interesting was that many people believe that the story when European explorers left Europe, that they were afraid that they would sail off the side of the earth. This is not actually true because there is evidence from maps from 100 years ago that 100 years earlier that people generally understood that the world was round, even though they did not know exactly what was beyond the Pacific Ocean. The cartography is the art and science of making maps, and cartography advanced in ancient Greece. Greek and Roman reached its highest point with the map maker Claudius Ptolemy, also known as Ptolemy, and his world map showed the old world from Europe to the Middle East to China. And during the medieval period, the TO map was common. In this map format, Jerusalem was placed at the center, and east was oriented toward the top of the map. The tools that my uncle uses go from pencils to pens and various sketch pads. And light tables and GPSs, and that is if you are making a hand-drawn map. A few years, this is a 2009 book for Europe, Europe Through the Back Door, and in here are hand-drawn maps, but they also use digital maps, and nowadays, can you pause it? And nowadays they use computer software, like Photoshop and Illustrator, to make digital maps. Digital maps are made on the computer, and these are two of the exact same maps, but this one is digital made, and this one's hand drawn, and this one's an updated version of the same book. And so pass this around. That is an example of the two different kinds, and nowadays my uncle is moving towards always using digital maps, and so his computer system, he has this thing called layers, and to draw his map, he has maybe a layer with all the names and one with the map, the drawing of the map. And so he can erase one layer and see one layer there all by itself, and put the layer back if he wants to see how it looks like that. And he gave me my own layer, and here is a picture of it with the layer, without all this, with all the map he had already made. And this is one that I just scribbled on, and this is without all the layers. The most interesting part about my project was everything. Everything was amazing to learn, and I learned a lot, and it was really, really interesting. The most difficult part was when I started sketching without meeting with my uncle. I started sketching my own map, and I was trying to fit in all the different store names, and I was like doing abbreviations, but it was not working. And so when I met with Dave, he showed me that in most of his maps, they have keys and have numbers for where it go, numbers, and then it says the name, and then numbers on the map to show where everything is. If I was to do this again, I did as best as I could in the short amount of time that I had, and I think if I had way more time, then I could have did more details on my map, maybe researched a little more on the history, and really worked on at my uncle's office. And I thought that this was pretty useful because now I can make maps anywhere I want. Any questions?